First, I want to apologize to each one of you here. I'm very time conscious. But for those of you who were here before we came in here, I want to deeply apologize to you. This is not the way we are supposed to run a struggle, especially in a situation like this when we are at war. We should try to be as time conscious as possible, because if we are not time conscious, the way we go to our jobs, where if they say it's 8 a.m., we make sure that we are there by 7:45 to clock in. Then we are not showing that we are serious. So please accept my apology and the apology of my brother for keeping you waiting. I'm a little bit sober here. I've been doing this for long. At times when I get out, I really lack from which angle to begin. I'm coming to Dallas for the second time in my 12 years in the United States. The first time I came to Dallas was to fight for the release of Bituka Medixa, the winner of the last two parliamentary election in Ethiopia. She was a lawyer. She won an election, and the then Ethiopian Prime Minister, Meles Zenawi, caught her and put her in jail. So I walked out my bottom to make sure that she could be released. That is what brought me to Dallas for the first time. And thank God she was released and she's in the US with her daughter. This is my second time coming to Dallas. This time is not for Ethiopia. It's for my homeland, the Southern Cameroons. I just returned from Southern Africa on Thursday. I was in Southern Africa for 2 weeks. Namibia, Lesotho, Mozambique, and South Africa. I had meetings with the MPLA. I went to Lesotho, I met the Deputy Prime Minister and spoke with members of the Alliances for Democracy. I went to Namibia to talk with members of the Southwest Africa People's Organization, which is now called the SWAPO Party. While in South Africa, I was with the South African Communist Party, the Congress of South African Trade Union, the largest trade union in Africa, COSATU, and also members of the African National Congress. It was a very difficult trip to Southern Africa, but it was a trip that was worthwhile. The situation in our homeland is very troubling. It's very, very troubling. We've seen images, we've seen people dying. But the reason why I went to Southern Africa, after just returning from Ghana, where I met Ghanaian officials, was for one reason: to seek solidarity. Some of you schooled and have your brothers and sisters went to the same school with Namibian refugees when Southwest Africa was fighting against the apartheid system to have an independent country. The Presbyterian Church did a lot. My own family kept 2 Namibians. Some of you have never met South Africans before, because there are people who really don't travel out of their country. Some have never come in contact with people from Mozambique, not to talk of Lesotho, which is very mountainous. But I went there to seek solidarity for our struggle for our homeland. I did not go to seek for recognition. Because you don't seek recognition, you seek solidarity. It's solidarity that breeds recognition. That is how it works in the liberation struggle. You might have watched the video online where the chairperson of the International Relations Subcommittee of the African National Congress, the woman who decides on the position that the ANC has to take on the international arena, spoke in a dialogue that was organized by SADC. I was the only leader from West Africa that was invited. I didn't know I was sitting in the midst of ambassadors from Canada, Ireland, Nepal, and Venezuela, and from different countries in the world. And we were discussing about the issue that has to do with peace and security, regional peace and security, and I raised the issue of the Southern Cameroons. Where there were other issues that were discussed out of camera, which cannot be discussed here. Because diplomacy is a very difficult job. It's not like the other job which we know that you just need to provide the equipment and the people go to the field and do the job. Diplomacy, especially in a situation like this, when you are not yet a state, but you are a nation that is struggling to become one, is very difficult. It is not the number of minerals you have in your homeland that convinces another state to say, we will take risks to stand with you. You need to do more than that. They need to see that you, first, you are serious in what you want. It is not how much you shout that you are serious. It is how you do it that counts. We find ourselves in a very delicate situation because there are other problems around the world which counts for more at times than ours. The Palestinians have fought for a very long time. Hamas, the Palestinian Authority, and even with observer status that they have in the UN, they are still not a state. Taiwan, backed by the mighty United States where we find ourselves, can still not find themselves settled within the UN body. It's to show you the complexity of international relations. And I can bet you, even as we are going to get solidarity, God is France is going to make sure that we don't sit within the bodies of the UN. Until we don't only get solidarity, we begin to find a way to change the character of the UN Security Council. One of the things which I've always tried to inform each one of you, my brothers and sisters, is to make sure that we don't lie to ourselves. Because if we don't see the reality of our picture, we will lose faith. You might put in money, a lot of money, and you think that tomorrow, independence will be restored or freedom will be there. And when it doesn't come, you start accusing the leadership that you deceive us. You have to know the reality that this is not a game. This is a very complex issue. And most of all, we are even a cursed people because we are blacks. The Palestinians are better off because they are brown skin. I'm sorry to say that. Yet, it's not easy for them. The Polisario Front, recognized by Algeria, condemned by Morocco. Morocco is not a member of the AU because of the Polisario Front. Yet, it was King Hassan II of Morocco that accepted the ANC to become an observer in the Organization of African Unity, following the intervention of who? Idi Amin Dada of Uganda. You see how the world works. Nobody will believe that Idi Amin Dada opened the door for the African National Congress, the South African Communist Party, the Pan-African Congress, the Azania movement, to have a seat as observers within the body of states in Africa, not as a state, as a liberation movement. Yet, Morocco pulled out because the Polisario was recognized by the OAU, backed by Algeria. Our people are dying every day. I never knew that a time will come when each one of us will no longer be scared of death. We have become more hardened than our Arab brothers and sisters. That we watch corpses, it seems to be little or nothing to us. What Paul Biya has done to our homeland, I can assure you that even if we manage to restore freedom. For the next 75 years, we are going to have more than enough work in our hands. Not only the trauma, but the character of our society will change forever. The way we see corpses, the way we look at fellow human beings will be totally different. Because it is already different. That is why it is often said that there is no good war. There is no better war. But there is something we call a just war. What you and me are now involved in. Because we have to fight. Not because we want to conquer. We have to fight because we need to stay alive. It is painful that even those of you who are here, putting in your money, putting in your time, some of you will not see that day of freedom. I am sure I've prepared myself that I want freedom, but not that I must see that day. I'm not ready for it. I'm ready for freedom, but if I have to focus on the idea that I must be in Boya. Boya is not Liboya, as the Bakuri people call it. No. Which is a physical structure. Boya signifies freedom now. When you say that day will be in Boya, you are talking about that day will be. The men and women who are not here will have their own children. I'm sorry to say, that is what history teaches us, to be at the top of someone else. So when you sacrifice for freedom, hope for one thing, that your great-grandchildren should have that freedom, not that you must enjoy it. Because you become too careful to do the right thing. Because you'll be scared that if you do the right thing, you might lose your life and don't see that day of freedom. We have reached the level of what we